Hi everyone. In this video I'll be looking at how to form seventh chords from harmonized major and minor scales. The different types of seventh chords which we'll be forming can be considered the basic harmonic resource in jazz. All other extended chords such as ninths, elevenths and more complex altered chords can typically be reduced back to the different seventh chords we'll be discussing. A harmonized scale is so called when chords are formed on each of its degrees. For our purposes, only diatonic notes, or notes from the scale we are harmonizing, will be used to form the chords. Tertian harmony, or chords formed by third intervals, is the most common harmonic structure in Western music, and the triad is the most basic tertian chord produced from harmonized major and minor scales. It is to the scale's basic triads that we'll be adding notes to form the seventh chords. All harmonized major scales contain the following triads. If we add a diatonic third to the major triad on the first degree or tonic of a major scale, a major seventh chord is produced. In this example, we've produced a C major seventh chord. From the root note, all major seventh chords contain the following third intervals: major third, minor third, and another major third. The combined interval of these thirds from the root note to the seventh forms a major seventh interval. The basis of the major seventh chord, therefore, is a major triad with a major third added. Along with the major triad on the tonic of a major scale, a harmonized major scale also includes two other major triads, one on the fourth degree, or subdominant, and one on the fifth degree, or dominant. If we add a diatonic third to the major triad on the major scale subdominant, the third we're adding is a major third, and the resulting seventh chord is also a major seventh chord. Notice the chord structure is identical to the major seventh chord on the tonic of the scale. However, if we add a diatonic third to the major triad on the dominant of the major scale, the added third is a minor third. We therefore have a major triad with a minor third, which produces a dominant seventh chord. From the root note, all dominant seventh chords have the following tertian structure: major third, minor third, plus a minor third. The combined interval of the thirds in a dominant seventh chord is a minor seventh. Of the three major triads in a harmonized major scale, therefore, two form major seventh chords, while the third forms a dominant seventh. Looking at the minor triad on the scale's second degree, or supertonic, if we add a diatonic third to this minor triad, a minor seventh chord is produced. In this example, we've produced a D minor seventh chord. All minor seventh chords contain the following third intervals from the root note: minor third, major third, and another minor third. The combined interval of these thirds from the root note to the seventh forms a minor seventh interval. The basis of the minor seventh chord, therefore, is a minor triad with a minor third added. Along with the minor triad on the supertonic of a major scale, a harmonized major scale also includes two other minor triads, one on the third degree, or mediant, and one on the sixth degree, or submediant. If we add diatonic thirds to the minor triads on these degrees, the resulting chords are both minor seventh chords. Notice the chord structures are identical to the minor seventh chord on the supertonic of the scale. All minor triads in a harmonized major scale therefore form minor seventh chords. Looking now at the diminished triad on the seventh degree, or leading note of a major scale, if we add a diatonic third to this diminished triad, a half diminished seventh is produced. In this example, we have produced a B half diminished seventh chord. From the root note, all half diminished seventh chords contain the following third intervals: minor third, and a major third. The combined interval of these thirds from the root note to the seventh forms a minor seventh interval. The basis of the half diminished seventh chord, therefore, is a diminished triad with a major third added. There's only a single diminished triad in a harmonized major scale, and this forms a half diminished seventh chord. It should be mentioned that, especially in jazz theory, the half diminished seventh chord is also known as a minor seventh flat 5 chord. The minor seventh of the name refers to the interval between the root note and the seventh of the chord, while the flat 5 refers to the similarities this chord has with a minor seventh chord, which has had its fifth note flattened. All harmonized harmonic minor scales contain the following triads. Looking at the scale in terms of the seventh chords, we already know. If we add a diatonic third to the minor triad on the subdominant, a minor seventh chord is produced. If a diatonic third is added to the major chord on the submediant, a major seventh chord is produced, while a diatonic third added to the major chord on the dominant produces a dominant seventh chord. A diatonic third added to the diminished triad on the supertonic produces a half diminished seventh or minor seventh flat 5 chord. If we add a diatonic third to the minor triad on the tonic of the harmonic minor scale, a minor major seventh chord is produced. In this example, we've produced an A minor major seventh chord. From the root note, all minor major seventh chords contain the following third intervals: minor third, major third, and another major third. The combined interval of these thirds from the root note to the seventh forms a major seventh interval, which is what the major of the chord's name refers to, while the minor refers to the triad type. The basis of the minor major seventh chord, therefore, is a minor triad with a major third added. If a diatonic third is added to the augmented triad on the mediant of a harmonic minor scale, a major seventh sharp 5 chord is produced. In this example, we've produced a C major seventh sharp 5 chord. From the root note, all major seventh sharp 5 chords contain the following third intervals: major third, and a minor third. The combined interval of these thirds from the root note to the seventh forms a major seventh interval. The basis of the major seventh sharp 5 chord, therefore, is an augmented triad with a minor third added. If a diatonic third is added to the diminished triad on the leading note of a harmonic minor scale, a diminished seventh chord is produced. In this example, we've produced a G sharp diminished seventh chord. From the root note, all diminished seventh chords contain the following third intervals: minor third, and another minor third. The combined interval of these thirds from the root note to the seventh forms a diminished seventh interval. The basis of the diminished seventh chord, therefore, is a diminished triad with a minor third added. As you can see, in a harmonized harmonic minor scale, along with the minor seventh, major seventh, half diminished seventh, and dominant seventh chords also found in harmonized major scales, the harmonized harmonic minor scale also contains a minor major seventh chord, a major seventh sharp 5 chord, and a diminished seventh chord. All harmonized melodic minor scales contain the following triads and produce the following seventh chords, all of which we already know. If we add a diatonic third to the minor triad on the tonic of the melodic minor scale, a minor major seventh chord is produced. If we add a diatonic third to the minor triad on the supertonic of the melodic minor scale, a minor seventh chord is produced. A diatonic third added to the augmented triad on the mediant produces a major seventh sharp 5 chord, while diatonic thirds added to the major chords on the subdominant and dominant produces dominant seventh chords. And if diatonic thirds are added to the diminished triads on the submediant and leading note, half diminished seventh or minor seventh flat 5 chords are produced. The seventh chords produced from a descending harmonized melodic minor or natural minor scale are the same as the chords found in the melodic minor scale's relative major, but starting on the submediant. Harmonizing the major, harmonic minor, and melodic minor scales as seventh chords produces 8 types of seventh chords, which can be grouped into the following families. Because the half diminished seventh chord is also known as a minor seventh flat 5, it can be found in both the minor seventh and the diminished seventh chord family. As always, context would determine which label would be more appropriate. It must be remembered that every harmonized major, harmonic minor, and melodic minor scale will produce the same order of seventh chords on the scale's 7 degrees. This makes memorizing the types of seventh chords and their location on the different scale degrees easier. The position of the various seventh chords in these scales can also be used to determine the various scalic and modal options which can be used to improvise over them, a topic I will cover in the following video. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.